Hi everyone, my name is Dana Rath, and in this video I'll be taking you through the second Houston Youth Symphony excerpt from Dvorak Slavonic Dance No. 1. If you are interested in my process of how to prepare any excerpt, I recommend that you check out the beginning of the first video, Rath Cello A plus Excerpt Guide, for a more comprehensive look at my excerpt preparation process. You may find it to be of some use with preparing the Dvorak or any excerpt. With that said, here's the second excerpt of the Houston Youth Symphony list from Dvorak Slavonic Dance. Okay, so now that you've heard the excerpt, let's get into some more details. So to start, I think that this is one of those excerpts where one has the potential of playing at too fast a tempo, especially if you feel inspired after listening to the recordings out there. I'm a strong believer in there being a difference between an audition tempo and a performance tempo. Just because you're capable of playing it lightning fast doesn't mean you should in the context of an audition. Rather, play at a tempo that is close or at the mark tempo, fast enough where the piece is recognizable, but not too fast where you feel like you are seconds from getting out of control or rushing. Additionally, when it comes time to play a live audition, you will likely feel nervous and your heartbeat will naturally increase. So, do yourself a favor and play at a reasonable tempo. In the beginning of this excerpt, I decided to start on an up bow, but I made sure that I saved enough bow at the tip so I would have room to do the dynamic swell. I would also start mezzo piano since you're coming off a crescendo from piano, and then only swell to mezzo forte so the sound doesn't suddenly balloon out in the middle. In the fourth bar, I also chose to join the first note to the end of my prior up bow. I did this so that I would have enough power at the frog to make the note sound close to forte, and to have a full bow for the rest of that bar on a down bow. As you can see, I also divided the following slur spanning 2 bars so that I would have enough room for the crescendo to fortissimo. There are certainly other ways you can bow this, and feel free to experiment, but I found most success with this bowing. Now let's move on to the marcatissimo section. This is a big contrast to the legato passage before. Use a heavy and short bow stroke and play closer to the bridge. It should sound a bit on the abrasive side. Also, take care to distinguish the accent on the following half note from the previous marcato eighths. Go for something sounding less harsh and percussive, and instead for something resonant by using more bow and releasing pressure at the end. This will set you up well for the following mezzo forte and give you enough bow for the next slur. Here the next phrase returns to legato and the cello takes over the main melody, so play with a healthy mezzo forte and vibrato of course. Crescendo to about forte at the top of the following swell, and come back down to around mezzo forte or mezzo piano so that the diminuendo has room to get down to pianissimo. Once you reach this pianissimo section, I think it's nice to do a color change, so play perhaps with a little wispier sound quality, since this is the third time we've seen this figure repeated. Okay, so this last part is probably the most technically demanding. So definitely do some slow metronome work on this, gradually working it up to your goal tempo. While you're practicing slowly, make sure that your left hand and fingers are light, especially when shifting. If you're pressing the string all the way down, then you're pressing too hard and creating unnecessary tension. Try pressing your fingers down only at 80% pressure. Now you're probably asking me, Dana, how on earth do I know if I'm playing at 80% pressure? Well, I'm about to show you a quick and easy test, and all you need is your cello and a friend. Start by playing one note on the cello at full pressure with your finger. Then have a friend put their hand on your knuckles. Keep playing the note, but start releasing the pressure from your finger. At some point, your friend will begin to feel your knuckles vibrate. The point at which your fingers are vibrating, yet you are still able to make a nice sound, is about 80%, and this is ideal for playing fast passages where you are shifting frequently. This also applies to the last 2 bars when you must shift to a fifth. Lighten your left hand for your shift down. Also, try finding the intonation of the fifth first and then practice shifting to it slowly. Well, that's all I have on this excerpt. I hope you enjoyed this video and found my tips useful. Bye!